Hinders. So, Star Wars. I've been prepping for this for days. The prep work and everything I put to mind on this has literally just taken a lot out of me. What you'll find in this video is it's going to be discussed in two prongs. First, we're going to discuss the extended universe, the EU, and how or what you would do if you had control of the EU. Next, we'll discuss these movies and where and how you saw the movies going. I'm providing links in the description section to some YouTubers who discuss Star Wars quite often, and their thoughts and opinions, views of Star Wars are very similar to my thoughts, views, and opinions on Star Wars. I promised I won't rant, or try not to go into rant. Rant video is going to cost everybody 20 likes and 5 new subscribers, and you'll see me rant and rave for my hatred of both episode 7 and episode 8. With that being said, I'm not even giving shoutouts to these great YouTubers. I think you should like, follow, and subscribe to their channels. I may put on my brass balls and shout them out via Twitter with this video attached, asking for any sort of comments or feedback they may like to give the old college try, since we're such a tiny and minuscule YouTube channel, barely on anybody's radar, and since Twitter's such a wide place and they have like millions of subscribers, I doubt they'll notice, but maybe through the will of the Force, because all things are through the Force, they'll find it, and maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know. But this is going to be a long video, and to begin, I'm sorry. So just bear with me, okay? Because this is an important subject to me, and I feel passionate about it, and because I'm sitting somewhere that I can't really express my sentence enhancers, I will try to keep it clean. Try it being the optimal word. Really, so let's begin the EU. When the original EU and what they call Legacy left off with Luke retiring as Grand Master of the Jedi, Han and Leia retiring from public life with their granddaughter Alana Solo, who's the product of Jason Solo, and the Jedi Queen of Hapes, Tenel Ka. Alana's predicted to become the overall benevolent Queen of the Force. Jason fell to the dark side, became Darth Caedus, and was killed by his twin sister Jaina. And the next books promised were supposed to be Sword of the Jedi, that followed the Jaina after the events of Crucible and the retirement. After she got married to her long-time significant other half, Jag, fell. Jag became leader of the newly formed Empire, and the Empire is part of the Galactic Alliance now. So my EU ideas would have picked up with what I call the Hand trilogy, Hand of the Empire trilogy, and basically 3 Force adept people in the Empire are found and sent on a secret mission for the Empire. We basically follow the main character, Cullen, who is a fighter pilot. He commands a TIE Defender squad. He is known as the Machine. He's the most kills as any TIE Defender. He always sees things coming. The story basically starts with Cullen dreaming about a monolith made out of living stone spinning out in space that the Jedi went out to go find, because in this monolith it has the dagger that killed the Force being known as Abeloth, who they dealt with in the Fate of the Jedi series. So Cullen gets picked, a Chiss officer named Thrope gets picked, and Gwendella Sar, a bridge captain, she gets picked as the new hands of the Empire. And under Jaina and Tahiri, they begin Force training. The hands show, all 3 of them show unique Force abilities. Kyleton has force armor. He can harden skin to the density of a lightsaber and basically become impenetrable. And he has force absorption, where he can take blaster blows, saber blows, and deal it back out in tenfold in force blasts. Thrope has the unique ability of Force Scream. He can shatter anything through the Force by screaming at it, kind of like Banshee. It is a Force power in the old canon. It's commonly a dark side power, but with Janna and Tahiri as their teachers, I'm sure they can turn it around to being light. Gwendella has Force absorption. She can absorb the Force, but in doing so for a temporary while, she picks up the Force abilities of that Force user that she absorbs the Force life from. So they're sent on the quest with a brand new hand class TIE fighter ships. They're sent on the quest to go and seek out the monolith, get the knife, and find out what happened to the Jedi who've all gone missing in search of the monolith. Sorry about the pause. I keep getting interrupted by text messages, people coming in all of a sudden talking to me, when it's usually nobody talks to me when I make these things, and other random things. But so they're sent out in these souped up TIE fighters, the hand class TIE fighters, sleeping thing. He has a sleeping room, for them to sleep in, escape pods, really souped up. To go find the monolith, retrieve the dagger, and find out what happened to the Jedi who have disappeared looking for the dagger. The theme is Gwendella and Carlton were lovers at one point. They still kind of feel something for each other. Carlton's dreams are plagued by the mom being on the monolith and being chased by zombified Jedi Knights, white eyes, force, screaming, inhuman, force-wielding creatures, no longer what they used to be. So, and Gwendella is slowly being tempted by Abeloth and the power that she can provide. Thrope, he kind of, unfortunately, Thrope kind of is just there. I really didn't develop his character too well, because after Episode 7 came out and they canned the Sword of the Jedi trilogy, I kind of scrapped the whole EU story I was writing, but this is what I did develop from it. So as it goes, Gwendella betrays Kyleton and Thrope. She ends up killing Thrope and disabling Kyleton's ship in the process, and she's basically been consumed by Abeloth. Mind, body, and soul is now working for her, and Kyleton's dreams start changing. Not only does he dream about the monolith, but he dreams about Alana as an adult woman, and he's fallen in love with her. So he's like, just becomes absolutely smitten with this dream version of Alana he keeps seeing after Thrope's death. But good news is they did manage to injure Gwendella's ship, so she crashes on a planet that was populated by, like part of the lost tribe of the Sith, one of their little outposts. She crash lands, and Kyleton crash lands on a planet called named Stem. Very heavily involved with Stem punk and everything, and they're both desperately trying to get their ships fixed. Gwendella ends up killing all the Sith on the outpost and draining them all of their force powers, increasing her own force power. Kyleton and Gwendella eventually make it out to the monolith and are pursued by the wide-eyed dead Jedi creatures. Kyleton does manage to get the dagger for a little bit, but Gwendella gets the upper hand in a saber fight, and she flees with the dagger to Abeloth's homeworld, followed closely by Kyleton. And as it goes, Kyleton, he goes and submerges himself in the fountain of knowledge, and Gwendella bathes in the font of power, and it basically leaves the two of them saber battling on Abeloth's planet, and Carlton knows Alana will come there someday as an adult, take a dip, take a drink, and become the Force Queen. That they will fall in love with her, he'll marry her, have 3 kids with her. So, and while that's going on, I kind of made a small side story to explain the wide-eyed Jedi and what happened with them, and the larger galaxy with Luke and Han and Leia and Alana and Jaina and all of them. But like I said, this is kind of a long video, and if I keep getting interrupted, it's just gonna be longer. Maybe I'll save that for another Star Wars video. But let's move on to the movies that Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, and Disney have all had a hand in ruining. And my complete hatred for all of them, which will come in the rant video. Like I said, 20 likes, 5 new subscribers, and you get me ranting and raving from Force Awakens to the bitter end of The Last Jedi. I will keep Rogue One in the canon. I actually liked Rogue One. A lot. So, with that being said, my vision for Star Wars is Episodes 7 and 8 are a alternative universe. Master Skywalker's Force vision, while he's sitting in his little retirement home, wherever he may be on Coruscant, on some little isolated world. So once he has this Force vision, he flies into Coruscant because it's Leia's funeral day. It's a natural day of mourning. Leia's passed away, so they're having a statewide funeral on Coruscant. The Republic is in mourning. Han is beside himself. Alana is upset. Jaina is visibly upset. She's pregnant with her Jag and her son Rom. And just in the moment of their sadness, they are attacked by a faction led by a clone, Grand Admiral Thrawn, because Thrawn dealt with the clones. I'm pretty sure he eventually cloned himself. The clone grew 30 years in the outreaching unknown space with Imperial Armada and some Chiss loyalists, and they've now made themselves present. They made their presence known. So, not only that, but they attack. Han goes out, and the Falcon goes out in a blaze of glory. Let's give that to him. And now you have Jaina with Luke, Ben Skywalker, as it's supposed to be. You can introduce Kip Doran. You can introduce my favorite Jedi, Corran Horn. And, you can discredit the canon Disney's made because it's just Force Vision now, and it really doesn't matter. So now it's a mounting defense. The race is on, and it's a mounting defense against the clone Thrawn, who is just about as brilliant as a strategist as his predecessor, the original Thrawn. So that's kind of my vision. You can use the actors. Ben Skywalker can be played by Adam Driver, but I would make Adam Driver somebody like Zek, one of the other Jedis. Poe Dameron can play just a random X-Wing pilot guy. Jason Boya can play Jag Fell. Daisy Riddell guess she could play Jaina, but I wouldn't give her that part personally. But you also introduced Salva Sevatine, who's a Bearable who trained Leia, and yes, Leia would have been fully trained, so none of that Mary Poppins junk. And of course, Dashiell Gleason can play the clone Thrawn. He wouldn't be insane over the top, but he'd be blue-skinned with red eyes, and that would be cool to see Chiss up on screen. But that's my vision of the movies, and of course, Luke coming out of retirement, having to protect Alana Solo and everything. You show them time to mourn Han and Leia's passing. You can have flashbacks of Jason when he was Darth Caedus and what Jaina had to do to him. Maybe Jaina can appear to Jason can appear to Jaina in a couple Force visions. So, I mean, that's my idea of where the Star Wars movies should have gone, and yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, it's already longer than it probably should be, and I don't think anybody's going to really watch it to the end to listen to me. But, okay, 20 likes and 500 subscribers, and I'll give you a rant video. Check out the links below, like, subscribe, and, listen to them. Maybe I'll give the shout out, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But, please tell me what you would do if the EU and the movies were under your control and not under the control of the uber-feminist Nazi Kathleen Kennedy. I even hate saying her name. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. May the Force be with you, of course, always.